Yo, we are back. We are back, and SPY is indices are doing wild things. We see SPY trying to break out, failing. SOX L trying to break down, catching, and interesting back and forth. I wonder if this is a short, if this rejects here, although it seems very strong. Seems like some rotation into the end of the week. I'm not so sure. This isn't a high or low in this top range here. If we look at a little bit zoomed out here, interesting action, and it makes me want to short right here. It makes me think this was the pop back, but it's so strong when SPY is breaking the range. That's what's confusing. So pretty cool to see that. What's up? Nigel's in the house, Talk's in the house. Adrian, all right, we're all back. We're all back. Nice. Q's getting the cleaner breakout that we were looking for forever on SOX. Is this the short? Coming back into the moving averages. It's not A+ for me, but I'm gonna see if it fills me. So let's see if this is going to reject these moving averages or not. It doesn't seem like it. Doesn't seem very high probability. I'll probably chill till the end here. Yeah, it's like you go all week, and then you realize, oh wow, it's only 15 minutes left. Only 15 minutes left. We're almost there. So we can just hang out. What are you guys watching into the weekend? Looking for any swings to take? Looking for anything particularly spicy? We talked about the ones I'm in. I still like FRO here. Uranium still incredibly strong. Whoa, with another candle up there to new highs. Beautiful stuff. Watching, seeing if this is the fade. We got the one candle close here. Not the worst attempt if you wanted to take it. Bonds and dollar. Yeah, we can take a look in just a sec. Let them eat cake is a phrase to look up. Let's see. Let me catch up here. Yeah, Trump ain't learning from anything. Don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath there. Interesting strength here on SOX. I wonder if it just goes for the breakout now. I still think that I don't trust the move, but I would like to see it. I would like to see it just as a scalp. Maybe I'd short it off VWAP if it'll give it to me. So looking through things towards the end of the day here. Pretty decent strength there. Sorry, looking off screen as well at some other stuff that I want to show you. It's a good week. It's an interesting week. Eric's back testing all weekend, so you can dig yourself out of a bad trading hole. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Sounds like your analysis is good. So let's talk next week. I definitely hang out around here. We talk a lot about mindset, about setting up. Ideally, we talk about how to kind of match our trading with our analysis, right? Because a lot of people I know, they're good traders or good at analysts, but they have a hard time with the trading part of it. It can be very tricky. So we do a money mindset every Friday. That's really good to talk about this kind of stuff. Oh, nice candle so far. I think that we are going to try to do a little run to VWAP here. So yeah, 75% prep, 25% execution. That makes sense to me. That sounds about right. I like the 80-20, right? 80%. If you front load 80% of the work, you only have to do about 20% usually, right? So as long as I'm doing most of my work to prep all my levels, to prep my situations, then I'm good. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Holding Moderna. Not sure to hold too long, but still holding. Where are you in from? That's going to tell us a lot. Still very strong off the 140. That's rising support. I like that. Whoa, look at that candle on chips. Is that a mock candle? Okay, mock candle in 1 minute, guys. There's the mock. Red. Give me 1 sec here. Oh, the intrusive thoughts. The intrusive thoughts want me to short. It rejected the level that we were trying to see if it would get over. So the mock candle seems like sells on both of these guys here. Let's watch and see how it closes in just a minute. Taking a trim on uranium. It's up a lot. Don't want to hold the whole thing into the weekend. And seeing a little red on the indices. Turns out there was the short on that pop. Wow, look at this velocity here, guys. Big up and down on SPY. So a flush and a back test could get me in, or a little pop into this new imbalance could get me in. You need to get green before trim. Okay. All right. Let's see. Where are you in from? Little red about in and out several times. Last one 140-ish. Yeah. All right. I think this pop up here could be the short on SPY. I would have liked to see a break of the prior kind of pop up here, this neckline, this point of control first, to really have higher confidence, but I do still think it is probably valid. Let's see if it fades. I'm going to try it with a stop over this candle high, because I'm seeing this big wick down here on SPY there. I would like to see the same thing happen in here. Let's see. Some stocks we have that have not been successful with, sadly. Yeah, RXRX, I love that company. I hate the stock, though. Very cool company, very bad stock. That's how I feel. You holding your VIX hedge, asks Hadrian. You're not selling it. It seems too cheap. I agree. I think it's a good place to be hedged up, or at least diversified. You know. Let's see. No, we are hedged short Qs, short SOX, and short Dow. Interesting. Okay, I like that. I like it. I've been using SOX. Yeah, I've been using SOX to short. That's been my go-to. There's SPY out the bottom. Let's see if we get the follow-through on ours. Yeah, it's looking better. It's looking better. We got 8 minutes left. Then we'll wrap up our trades. We'll hop right on into the webinar. I'm really excited for this one. It's going to be fun, and I need to chill. Cure crossing my support level. No, my baby. That's okay. There's the crack. There's the crack. All right, short's starting to work. Let me kill that alert. Starting to work. I want to see it break this range, though. Give me a little more. Traded maybe 3 hours per day, less trading. That's smart. I wish I could do that. I need to have a hard and fast rule when I'm not on stream. No charts. It's so hard, though. So hard to be streaming and then turn that part of your brain off. But I totally agree. It's less is more. Less is more. Talk likes calls on NVDA? Eh. Take a look. I've been not doing options recently, and it's been really nice. Just not having to worry about the time factor at all. I like the risk reward here. I mean, well, the thing is, with calls, I guess you just, yeah, you send your soldiers out to battle. And if he dies, he dies, unless you're getting time on him, of course. But here at 215, it's a I call this a gut check close. Back into the gap, back into the downtrend line, back into the 21-day. Is it going to hold? Heck if I know. But what we do know is that it's a good risk-reward place. And if you're wrong, you'll know quick with the weekend and everything. Obviously a little tougher, but I don't hate it. Looks weak intraday too. And there's our SOX breaking lower. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. All right, at least it's paying me a little bit. Not the most amazing trade so far. I should have definitely got in when I got out of the long. At least I got out of the long at the right time. But I think I need to reevaluate my trading day to day because it's too sloppy. Too many directional flips, which means that my analysis wasn't good enough. If I was second guessing a few times during the day. Let's see, I'll trim a little under this swing low. Oh wow, SPY powering down now. Look at that. Wow. Wow. That's a big candle. Money coming into SOX. No, go the other way. Now I'm break even. Whack. Let's see if we get the flush or if I get stopped out, running it back through the top side. That would make sense. It's been that kind of day. All my swing trades working, all my active trades. Small win, small loss, small win, small loss. Very annoying day. Very annoying day. Not sure if it's my analysis. You've been struggling this week. It's been super choppy. Yeah, it's I just keep second guessing myself over and over and over. Over and over and over. Let's see. NVIDIA never good into ER? Yeah, but you get the nice run up into it usually. That's always nice. Ugh, what a candle. Cannot catch a break. I had to be super fast trimming on this low. That's what I needed to do. We can also say, hey, higher or lower high here, hopefully. Lower high here. If I wasn't in already, I could add here, but I don't feel like sizing up. Nope. I think I'll probably get stopped out here, to be honest. Just seems strong, but we'll let the play work or die. Going through some of my other little watch lists here. Lily aired out pretty good. I still really like this trade. It's still holding its hourly trigger. As long as it holds or finds buyers under 1250, I do think it's still a long. Hey, Spencer. Congratulations on your Tesla. Very nice play. Good to see you in here, man. Too smart, too handsome. It's almost like I know this guy. It's almost like we should go out to emo night next month if you're coming up. That's my buddy. Let's see. My biggest position by far is NVIDIA. It's a good big position to have, I think. I like that. Good big position to have. SPY finding a little bit of buyers here off VWAP into the close. Man, SOX, I feel like it wants to wash. Wants to take a trip downtown is what I feel. But market doesn't care about what I feel, does it? Yes. So I hear you're buying a Tesla, Spencer. You said if Tesla prints, you're buying one. Which kind are you getting? You getting a Cybertruck? Getting a trash can? You should. Knocking your socks off. I know. This is knocking my socks off. I'm short right now. Big candle, but I'm holding. Didn't break the swing high. I think it probably will soon, though. And just double checking some of my holdings here into the bell. Sorry about the sirens. Okay, 3 minutes left. 3 minutes left. And there it is, coming from a stop. Classic. Classic. Why are they squeezing me? Why are they squeezing me today? I've just been off all day long. Just wrong. Right on swings, wrong on intraday bullshit. Is what it is. Hey, what's up, Broad's Hands? How you doing? How you doing? And any second now I'll get stopped. Gold flagging nicely into the close. Look at that candle. Oof, there we go. Where was this strength all day? Chips, come on, man. Classic, 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 classic. All right, guys, we're going to get into it in just a second here. I'm going to grab some water before I switch over, and then we'll be getting into it. Kathy's ETF ARC K, ARC G. Yeah, depending on which one you want. Yep. ARC K is the general one. ARC G is genomics. She also has ARC X and ARC, like 2 other ones. I forget. Something like that. Checking in on my other swings, seeing if there's anything I need to manage here. Looking okay. Let's Zim up too. Zim's down a little for me. Oh, no, it's not. Nice. Cool. All right, guys, they took my stop. Now watch a giant red candle. that would be how this day's going. You entered a small position and sold all your NVIDIA after Burry. Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Bad vibes in Burry shorting your thing. You right? Let's see. Kathy Wood is horrible at entries and stuff, but her analysis is quite good. Interesting. Is XX going to keep squeezing? I don't know. What is it? RX. Is it squeezing at all? Does that thing have green days? I didn't know it was allowed to. Let's look. It's trying its best. Nice little oops reversal there. Yeah, well, I hope that all of these genomics plays get re-rated. That's what I'm kind of banking on, betting on. I like Beam. Reclaiming the 200-day here. Ooh, nice strong close. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll be playing this one next week for sure. In a little bit. into the bell. Also, yeah, but basically, I think they all should get re-rated, right? Because if it can happen to Moderna, sure, they're not. We're not all going to do cancer cures, but I think that they're mispriced. I think that they're mispriced. It's up like 15% this week. Yeah, well, I mean, Moderna's up like 200%. So gotta pump those numbers. You know what I'm saying? We shall see. What else we got? What else we got? I think I hold my oil plays as well. There was something I wanted to pick up into the weekend. What was it? PBR. I wanted to pick up some PBR. We can talk about that. Talk, how you feeling on OIH, by the way? Flagging back into the 9-day? That's kind of clean, right? Off of this high time frame level. What is it? Yeah. Pretty chart. I'm a fan of this one. That's a stage 2 base break, back test, and flag now. Pretty clean. I want Rig to do the same thing it did. Just ramp like crazy. Up. Go vertical. And come back like this. Test this. That's what I'd like to see happen on a lot of these offshore miner or offshore drillers. Interesting stuff. But we are going to be getting into our webinar in just a sec here. So guys, I am going to really quick go grab some water and make sure my cat has food. Give me 3 minutes. 3 minutes. I'm going to use the bathroom too. Then we'll be back. We'll be doing a webinar on the AI supply chain. What goes where? What builds what? What is integral to this whole build out? Where are the bottlenecks? All that good stuff. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. And you're going to learn a little bit, I hope. I learned a little bit putting it together. So that's what's on deck. Bear with me 1 second. We'll be right back at it. Thank you guys. See ya in just a sec. What's going on in here? What are we talking about? We're talking about AXTI? I'm interested in that too. AXTI. Spicy chart. What did we think it was going to do? Let's check in. And then we'll get into the webinar here. So I guess we said this is a weird bottom and it could pop, but we need to see a higher low kind of curl out here. We want the sharp V bottom and then the wider V bottom. We want it off the 200-day here. I think we might get it. Looking a little bit suspicious. A little bit suspicious here. Imodium phosphate. Those are big words. All right. I'm putting it in the notes. Stuff to Google. Sometimes I think you guys think I'm smart or something. Like I'm supposed to know what that means. I'm like, Keenan and Kel. It's like, I know some of those words. That's where I'm at. Oil and natty byproducts will get hot. Okay. Interesting. So petrochemical companies. What's that one? CNC, is that it? Centene? That looks kind of good. Interesting. What else are we talking here? Helium? Oh, what's that? Lind? That's an interesting weekly chart. Tried to squeeze, blew off back to the base. That's a breakout back test, isn't it? These guys do helium, I believe. Sulfuric acid. Yeah, that sounds scary. All right, you guys want to see how I do DD? It's nothing fancy. Yeah, Lynn, you like Lynn too? Okay, let's see. What are the most profitable oil byproducts? See, this is how you do DD if you know nothing. Lubricants. Oh, CLMT. I know it's already done crazy things, but CLMT probably does more crazy things. This is, oh man, ugh. I was watching this at 35, and people in my server were watching this. And there's one guy in particular, shout out to Mango. He's in from about 30 bucks, I believe, maybe even lower, probably down here. What a beautiful chart on CLMT. This is industrial lube. Industrial lube. Okay. So sulfuric acid, because the acid, okay, the acid draws the copper, but it's not just for acid. Interesting. Yeah, you like that chart talk? Crazy, right? CLMT? Sheesh. What do you do with it now though? Used in shit tons of fertilizers. How are they doing? They're probably doing well, right? Mosaic. Ooh, okay. All right, guys. Now we're talking. Now we got some stuff for the focus list. So guys, we're going to be talking AI trade, but you know what? I'm always looking for more tickers in general. Always looking for more tickers in general. Here we got, so Mosaic, kind of shitty. They're not a very high quality company in my book. They get shorted to heck and back. Heh, that sure didn't happen, huh? This thing is brutal though. When it gets in a downtrend, it stays in a downtrend. Crazy that this used to be an $80 stock. I used to trade this. I traded it on the way up, did very well. Got slammed on the top though. Gave back some of my profits, but very wild. CJ Handler, view on Broadcom. I'll check it out in just a second. I'm a fan of it. I know it's near the 200-day. I think it's a buy, but I want to double check. So Mosaic here. Other fertilizer companies. CF, going to be high quality. CF Industries, probably a much better chart. Much better chart. There we go. Beautiful. Now we're cooking. While we're down here, we can look at some of the other names related to CF. Or related to fertilizer. There's wheat. Wheat's cooking with gas. Wheat's got the juice. Yeah, CF looks very good. CF looking very appealing to me. So I need to put that on my focus list too. Oh, and rig. Just going through collecting names. I need to have AI organize my watch list because they get so crazy so fast because I literally just keep throwing things on. APH, I'm watching copper very closely for a buy. Man, Hood had a gangbusters day. I was talking about it yesterday too. I'm sad I didn't get any. LPTH, 10% day. Nice. All right, there's the focus. All right, CF, though, looking very impressive here with this downtrend line break. This is a a flag on top of a flag. I believe this is a pennant over. Yeah, beautiful. Look at this, guys. This is what I'm talking about for a very nice high time frame constructive chart. Looks beautiful. So look, you have the big base. It surges above, does a measured move. The measured move being you take the bottom of the base to the top of the base. Push it up there. And look at that precision, guys. Tell me this doesn't work. Just tell me it doesn't work. Look at this. We'll draw our fib from this high to this low and look exactly where the 2 is. If I fix this a little bit. All right. I guess it's a few cents off. I guess this doesn't work at all. So very important to watch these kind of bases, and you always watch the 1.227. This is going to be your gatekeeper. If price surges through the 1.27, then your main target's going to be the 1.6. There will almost always be profit taking there, and you can see that's where the initial impulse move went up, and then chop, 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 starting to go back, had to rebase. Where does it rebase? Right off the gatekeeper, right? So when you surge through the gatekeeper, you take profit at the 1.6, you leave a runner for the for the 2. If it comes back to the 2.7, which it will probably, or sorry, the 1.27, it'll probably do that 30, 40, 50% of the time, somewhere there roughly. Call it half the time. 50% of the time it does a back test. Then you can add your trim back there. And it's just very mechanical, right? Also, I would be taking more off here when it gets close to the 2 and starts to turn away. So, liking that. Great example there. NG, natural gas futures in contango. I'm more of a salsa guy. I can't dance the tango, but yeah, interesting stuff. Contango being the opposite of backwardation, you get the whole. Let's look at it. Not Nova Gold. Where's my Henry? Where's Henry Hub? All right, I have a question for you guys. You guys have a lot of questions for me. I have a question for you. Who the heck is Henry? And why do we care about his hub so much? I have always wondered this. What is a Henry Hub? Anybody know? Shirley Fortress, do you know? Let's see. STETH WPLS on Pulse Chain breaking out. Do your own research. Oh, we got a crypto bro. We must study him. Welcome, crypto bro. We love you here. It is time. It is your time in the sun. Time to make hay while the sun is shining. I like the crypto trade. I wish I bought some Coinbase yesterday. I'm in Hyperliquid. Yeah, who the F is Henry? That's what I'm saying, Adrian. I don't know who it is. The Southern Plant. Okay, thank you. That makes sense. Yeah. Let's see. So, yeah, Talk also mentioning what contango is, so I don't have to. I don't want to talk about it because I don't know that much about it. Basically, spot price lower than the futures, so it's the opposite of backwardation in that regard. What does it mean? Stuff. Hood for crypto? Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, I'm going to be here all day if I do not get into the webinar. So we're hard capping 5 more minutes of the fun stuff here. 5 more minutes of the fun stuff because I do love finding tickers with you. This is how I find most of my best plays, through you guys. I'm not going to lie. I just don't have enough time to watch everything and kind of I crowdsource, ideas. Los Pollos Hermanos. Good to see you back, man. And Trader Benny in the house. Maybe Henry's a code word for Leopold. Oh, is it the Leopold? Well, here's a thought. I mean, Leopold, all about the AI trade. Natural gas. What if I told you it's also all about the AI trade and we just don't know it yet? I think that in the future, we will be seeing a lot of data center build out in the Permian Basin. And I think that a lot of it will be powered with the natural offshoot of all of that drilling, which is natural gas. But Pollos Hermanos, like in hymns, I don't. But I think I'm wrong, and we'll talk about it. Yeah, I think I'm wrong. This is a very strong weekly candle. We call it a backbreaker. Sentiment cracker. So, I noted we had this wedge playing out. Often you will see a pinch between 2 moving averages. You will often see a pinch. You can see this 50-day and the short-term ones pinching, and then you have a decision, right? We saw a very interesting move here where we had a wedge between our 200-day and our 50-day. So again, decision, but also or there will be a decision as it breaks out of here, but this is a megaphone as opposed to a pennant. So this is going to be looser, wilder, harder to predict, but a bigger move. So it seems like it shook out down and then reclaimed up, and it ate the earnings gap. I don't understand this company, to be honest. I don't think it's good. I liked them a lot back when I understood them up here. I don't understand them very well anymore. I think about them, I look at them, and then I look at Eli Lilly's chart, and I just buy more Lilly. That's what I think. Full disclosure, I have trust issues with him. I was in this one on vacation when it decided to do this gap down day. No, this gap down day, yeah. Happy birthday, Steve. Happy birthday, Steve, and your 2x leveraged him shares down 60% overnight. Happy birthday. That was fun. Whose fault is it that they had a big position of double X leverage shares on a probable crappy company while on vacation? Certainly not mine. Yes, long per, says Adrian. Absolutely. I'm looking to get an ad in pretty soon. I have a starter in. I have like 5 shares. I have like 10 shares to watch it from 7XX. I forget, 740 something. Went up to 950, didn't sell. Went back to like 6, didn't sell. Didn't buy either. I added a little bit at 984 after hours yesterday, I want to say, just because of the FOMO. I haven't sold any yet. I would like to buy some more. Oh, interesting. Okay. What happened today that was connected to Leopold? Apparently, Citadel sold 80% of the acquired Leopold stocks, and it kind of broke the data center basket along with the chain like BE and Photonics. Yeah, they really beefed it here. They really, well, here's the thing. Did they? I think they did good work for them. But for me in my AI trades, it's really making me second guess. It's really making me try to figure out, is there something different with the fundamentals, or is it just a case of, well, big guy selling, messing up the charts. Such a shitty move. Took the billions from a 24-year-old kid on his wedding week, sold them, and now they're saying we made 5% profit this month. Yeah. Bad taste in my mouth for sure. Same kind of feel when you have the craziness on, what's it called? The Captain Condor stuff. Did you guys follow that? So Captain Condor was this guy who sold service to retail, basically teaching them how to gamble responsibly. What do you mean by that? Well, they would sell condors, iron condors, collecting premium, and basically the whole premise of their thing is, hey, we have 6 tranches of dry powder. We're going to deploy one. If it works, awesome. If it doesn't work, next day we double down. Still offsides, double down. Still offsides, double down until SPY has a return to the mean, basically. So basically, they get killed on large trend rallies, but they bank on basically those large trends returning to the mean, reverting to the mean, no pun intended, within their 5 or 6 days that they have liquidity. This is a martingale strategy. This is gambling. Was it smart? No. Did it work? Yes. Should it have worked in perpetuity? Statistically, yes. But the thing about statistics is even if it's a very, very, very small number, it's not a 0. And while it might not happen in nature, well, you know what? What if we hunted you? You know what I'm saying? So they hunted this poor guy and just trended until this guy, he had enough money to survive, and you just double down each day, right? Till it works one day and you make it all back, and then you, go drink a bottle of bourbon and sleep for a week probably. But all of his followers did not. I guarantee you they did not have that capital. So really, really gnarly to see them just destroying retail traders on Christmas of all times. It's just ugly. It's just ugly. I don't know. Steve, are you still holding Netflix from the 69 level from earnings day? No, I am not. I regret it. I scalped it a few times. I think it looks beautiful. We can talk about this. And then, okay, it's 5 minutes. We got to go. We got to go. I think that if it gives me a little more of a dip next week into the rising 9 day, I'm a buyer. Okay, guys, I am going to go through the comments. I'm going to put a list together of the tickers you guys are mentioning. We're going to talk about them after, and that's how I get you. You got to stay for the webinar, then you get all of your questions answered. I promise, anything before, I will Hold on. Comments are cracking me up. I will get to all the questions mentioned. It's not my birthday. It's not my birthday. It was close to my birthday when Hims gapped down. But thank you anyway, guys. Yeah, Martingale is gambling, absolutely. I actually do this every time I get into the same. Okay, guys, the sidetrack. Does anybody know this game? Gamble with friends. Somehow spelled that. What am I doing? Gamble with your friends? Yeah, okay. Guys, this game is so much fun. If you guys buy this, I'll play it with you. We should get a game night going sometime. So this is a game where you and up to, I think, 5 friends, yeah, 1 to 6 player co-op, you go around in a casino, you play all of the casino games. Here's the catch. You all have the same bankroll. It's a very, very fun gameplay loop. Incredibly addicting. No pun intended. Well, pun intended. I guess not a pun. You know what I'm saying. Guys, try this out. I think it's like $6-7. $8. $8. Anybody who buys it, ping me, and I'll add you on Steam, and we can have some fun. Sidetrack. I'm supposed to be giving a webinar. All right, going down, making the list, checking it twice, and then we're getting on into it. USDE cooking. I'm so mad they didn't let me in. My broker would not let me buy it. It's too volatile. So that's why trade with Trade the Pool instead of my dumb broker that doesn't even get a mention on stream. Yeah, USDE. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Best game for traders. Best game for traders, I think, is what can't you lose at? For me, whenever I have a bad trading day, or at least this is what I used to do. If I had a really bad trading day and I was like, I want to keep trading, it's a bad idea. So what I would do is I would essentially just play Dota, which is the most addicting game. It's you got a whole bunch of in-game economies to manage, a whole bunch to think about, and it doesn't let your brain give a shot. Okay, Steve, still waiting on Broadcom view. All right, you were waiting longest. You get it first. You get it before the webinar. Everybody else has to wait. Thank you for reminding me, though, Mr. CJ Handler. So into the 200 day is usually a good time to buy. Historically, a great time to buy. Third test makes me a little more suspicious that we might need to come back down, clean up some of this poor structure here. See that poor structure with all of these holes? Don't love that. But if it can hold this line, and we'll draw that line out, then we have something to talk about. There we go. So what it's doing right now is it's dipping into this low volume node. As long as it does hold the high volume node, this point of control sitting at right 350, that would be cleaning up some of this stuff. It could even wick under to 335, like I said, fill that gap. As long as it does catch in this zone, we're good. And I just don't know if they're going to make it easy, because usually you get 1 or 2 easy tests on a ticker before it has some trouble. So one ticker off one test off the 200, 2 tests off the 200 that were easy and you weren't in pain. This time they might make you get cooked a little bit. It might do like what TE did, which is not hold this 200 and really make you fight for it. Might do some chaos like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's going to be contingent on NVDA earnings for one. That being said, if you have a long-term view, this is a fair price for an excellent company. Broadcom, absolutely a staple in this space. We're going to be talking about where they fit into the supply chain as well. And actually, let's get on into that. Let me finish the analysis. Still expanding down here on the oscillator. Weekly oscillator also very choppy. It's just noisy, right? And I think this one is going to come down to it and its earnings not for a few weeks. NVIDIA's in next week. So we will have some data points. I would expect kind of BS chop in between those data points. Chop, 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 chop. I'm not sure, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. You will destroy me in Dota, Adrian. I'm bad. I play it to relieve stress, not to get better. That's what I'm saying. You're a what? Bronze hands. You're an offlane mid. I play carry mostly, but I also like messing around on support, and I like offlaning. I like doing everything. I'm bad. I'm like Archon. I used to be. I was like ancient back in the day, back in the ancient times. Not no more. Not no more. Best game for traders, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Just take it out on on the pedestrians. Yeah, more Dota 2 players are coming out of the woodwork. We're adding FU to the list. It's a fun ticker too. And we're going to get into it. Yeah, anytime. I appreciate you, CJ. Yeah, interesting that Google chose Marvell over Broadcom. Hey, we can buy them both. You have 12K. I have 12K hours. I might beat you actually. I have a ton of hours. I have a ton of hours. Of course, you're a Dota player. That's the game. That game has followed me through high school all the way into my adult life. It's the only game I really play. I'll dabble here and there, have fun here and there. But you know what? Dota is it's like a, it's a true love. It's a true love. Y'all degenerates, I love it. Here's the thing: 12K hours in Dota, you're basically a beginner. You've gotten past the tutorial in Dota once you've played 500 hours. I'm serious. Steve, have you read the book T.L. Bryant? Are you my therapist? Have you read the book Quit: The Power of Knowing When to Walk Away? No, but I'm going to look it up and add it to my list because I probably need to read it. Oh, it's by Annie Duke? Well, then I'm absolutely going to read it. And I think that this is amazing. This is something that most people don't know and don't do. And I'm one of those. So I don't... It's tricky because this is my job. It's really hard for me to walk away from charts completely. I'm really bad at quitting. So you know what? I'll do really well, and then I'll have a bit of a loss streak. And I would do better if I could just completely walk away from the charts, I think. And you know what? I think that Annie Duke, if anybody understands the psychology behind this, being a poker player, that's who we should look to and listen to. So I'm gonna definitely look into that. Thank you for the recommendation, because Thinking in Bets is one of my Bibles, that and Trading in the Zone. Yeah, Thinking in Bets, talks mentioning, absolute legendary. No, you're the best, Brian. I appreciate you, man. Sometimes there's a few of you that are so nice to me that I feel like it's a long con, and one day you're going to be really mean and it's actually going to hurt my feelings because I'll have my guard down. I'll be all vulnerable because you guys are like my friends at this point. I consider you my friends. Is that like reverse parasocial behavior? Like I'm pretending like I know you guys in real life, not even the other way around. Probably. All right, guys, we got through the comments. We are ready for the webinar. Thank you for your patience, but I know you guys I think you enjoy it too. All right, let's get on into it. The long con, playing the long con, classic. All right, guys, here's what we got today. Welcome back in. If you've been tuning out while I've been yapping, it's time to lock in, boys and girls. Welcome. So last week we talked the higher low, lower low into higher low, the basing pattern that I always look for. I wanted to lead with this one. This is the fundamentals one, talking about these AI names, why they're important, what I look for when I'm kind of doing my due diligence on this kind of on this trade as a whole, where I think the bottlenecks are, all that good stuff. But some of the names were making moves right then. So I thought, hey, let's give you the how to trade it first. I'll give you the list of the ones I like, and then we can go back when we have a little more time, a little bit of a breather, and talk about it. Because you know what? Micron was not sitting right under 1,000 when I was talking about this too, this stuff, A lot of these names we got in at nice levels, and we're feeling okay, even though I'm not so sure that the trade is going to be an easy one. It hasn't been easy so far, buying this dip. And you know what? Part of me in my heart of hearts thinks that this isn't the best place to be in the market anymore. I don't think this is going to be the leading trade. I think commodities are the leading trade now. Am I right? Am I wrong? I don't know. We'll find out. But either way, I still want some AI exposure because that's not going anywhere. Might not be the leading trade now, but they will go higher. Mark my words. Mark my words. I appreciate you guys. Uzman in the house. What's up, dude? IREN, yeah, hang out. We'll get to it after the webinar. It's not a long one this week. I gotta start doing this. Otherwise, I will just talk all day long. And yeah, if you're not in the Discord, come on in. I'll drop a link real quick here. I'm still in the process of fine tuning, getting it a little more organized. But we're gonna have a lot of cool features rolling out. I'm working on a message summary bot, so you don't get lost in all of the chatter. We got a very active couple of rooms there. Also working on something that will take me talking on stream and automatically take those tickers, put them on in the Trade Alerts channel if you're a paid member to get those signals faster, because I know you can't all watch me every day. So here's the Discord. Come on in. It is free to join. If you really like what I do, I also have a newsletter and signals for $30 a month. You'll definitely, not definitely, I have yet to hear somebody not make their money's worth with it. So I think it's a good deal. Let's talk. Are we new? Who? Me, myself personally? us as a prop firm, we're not new. We've been around. I'm not sure. 4 or 5 years at least, probably going back further. I actually don't know when we were founded. What I do know is that we are quickly becoming one of the biggest players in the prop space, if you're talking about Trade the Pool, of course. If you're talking about Trade the Pool. So I'm really happy that what we kind of do, what our angle is we are the human broker. There's real people here. You can see our faces. You can see the trades we take. We're very honest. We're very open. And guys, I know how much they're spending on talent on these streams. These are loss leaders, you know? We are not making all our money back educating you guys, but we want to build the brand of a company you can trust, a company with real people. We got real people on the front end here. We got real people in the risk management department, real people in the customer service. I mean, these are people I'll be drinking with them tonight on Friday Night Live. These are my friends. They're real people and we're good. So it's not a futures firm. We do have a sister company for the fivers if you do like futures. But yeah, that's who we are at Trade the Pool here. They're awesome. They employ me, so I get to teach you. I was just doing this for free, basically, more or less free, doing it for my community, and got a little recognition. I'm trying to roll with it because I love this audience and you guys are great. Yeah, it is like Apex stuff. Exactly. Not futures, equities. So this is fun because we can do all the small cap stuff. We have a lot of small cap traders here. It's excellent for small caps because you don't have to locate shorts. You don't have to locate those shares. For example, we could short SpaceX day one, no problem, as much as we wanted. Try to do that on IBKR. I dare you. I double dare you. Yeah, all right, I'll stop yapping. That's who we are. If you like what we are, go to tradethepool.com. We got a lot of great options. Also, hang out and chat. We do a lot of giveaways too. So smash that like button if you don't mind, if you'd be so inclined. And we'll keep on giving you a lot of great content on the house. Thank you so much for listening to the spiel. It's my job. I gotta get through it. But now we do the fun stuff. So, the shovels, they're on sale. What's the Discord? Oh, I'll drop it once more. So this is my trading Discord. Basically, I was in like 20 different trading Discords. It was insane. Steve's free trading Discord. So it's still under Justy Trades. That's my old Reddit and Twitter handle. I still got to revamp that. Maybe Crowbar Capital. I don't know. We're still working on our name. But we got a ton of great content there, a ton of amazing traders, a lot of my good friends. I mean, I'm just looking right now. The Majestic out of his gold weeklies for a nice 234% gain. Nice 28K gain there for Majestic. He's a big boy. He's playing for keeps there. We got Chem Life with the excellent fundamental analysis right here on our swing trading channel. I'm already looking and already learning. Very interesting conversations happening on gold there. I learned so much from these guys, and then I get to, parrot it back to you guys, pretend like I'm smart. But come on and learn from the best. That's what I've done. One more shout out, two more shout outs. Promo, love you, buddy. Another great fundamental analyst. And Cape Cod Flats, oh my goodness gracious, the GOAT. Cape Cod Flats does not miss. He does, but he's incredible at finding fun plays. And one more while I'm giving props. Shout outs to you, Chaos. He's holding it down intraday, always giving levels, always helping people learn his system for day trading. And he makes a very pretty penny doing this full time. So that's what we're doing. I promise I'll shut up now. Oh, Tacitus, you got another dossier. Slide the DOS, brother. Slide the DOS across the table. Let's get that info. I need like 4 weekends in a row to catch up on all the great stuff in there. But the great news is it's gotten to the point where I don't have to manage it. I've got a great mod team, and if you see the purple name, you ask them for help, they'll help you out. We're good. We're good, We also have an automated signals, gamma exposure signals thing that we're working on there. It's starting to be implemented. So, Chaos is everywhere. Chaos is the man. Chaos is my brother. My brother from another mother. Okay. Half hour in, we're going to start now. That's about right. That's about Steve time. Okay, you guys ready? Let's rock and roll. Timestamp for anybody. If we want to edit this at, I'll save the timestamp. We're what? 30 minutes in? Okay. So, biding my time while I locate my notes. There they are. Excellent. Here's what we're going to be talking about today. Last week we did the lower low, higher low. Today's the other half. This is the what. So I have kind of cobbled together a rough 35 name AI basket. Does that mean you need all these names? No. They are a rough, they're broken down into different sub-baskets, sub-sectors. I want to walk through what these different names kind of do, what their place is in the AI chain, and why I like the ones that I picked. We could talk about alternatives. And basically, I think that you should probably have a basket of some representation of each of these subsectors in that. So when I'm saying subsectors, I'm talking about compute. I'm talking about like the AI hardware, for example, like the Dells, stuff like Broadcom, stuff like NVDA. You also have the Neo clouds, Adrian's favorite basket, stuff like NBIS, stuff like APLD, IREN. You have a lot of fun stuff in photonics, in memory, in the energy that supplies these data centers, all integral to the supply chain, and there's more. And we're going to talk about all of that because I see a lot of people, they know a little bit about one aspect of this, but they don't really see the bigger picture about how all these pieces fit together. So I thought that we would make a little something and try to help you out with that. So this is kind of the idea that ties the whole basket together. It's based in real economics and not in a trader's hunch, not in just the technicals. I talk a ton about technicals. I'm a technical trader, but when I'm investing, when I'm holding something overnight, when I'm not trading it, when I don't want to look at something, say it's 5% down and go, oh my God, I got to cut it. When it's something like that, I need to have conviction. I need to have the fundamental analysis be in place. And I think the fundamentals are still stellar for these names. I do not think the trade is done. So that's why I wanted to talk about this stuff and what we're going to get into. So first off, who here knows about Jevons paradox? Jevons paradox, a very important concept that we're going to need to talk about. When you leave here, you'll understand what the heck it is, you'll understand why it matters, and you'll understand that we are just getting started, like Adrian said. Absolutely, absolutely. Bronze Hands, Adrian does post on the Discord. He's under a different handle. He can let you know his handle. I don't want to dox him if he doesn't want to have them connected. But yeah, he is in there. Definitely in there. By the way, we will be talking about uranium as well. I took starters in URNM today. Felt like a major chase. I want UUUU for more beta, more juice on a pullback. I don't know if I get clobbered, but beautiful breakout today. Beautiful breakout. All right. So Jevons paradox. What the heck is it? Look at this shoddy graphic. Cut it off and I didn't notice. Oh, man. I'm slipping, guys. But that's okay, because you know what? We have AI to fix this stuff. Let's talk about what Jevons paradox is, what it means, and why it's so important. So when something gets cheaper and more efficient, people don't use less of it. Oh, hello. We've got a guest. When something is cheaper and more efficient, people don't use less of it. They use dramatically more. Let's talk about the why. So think about this. This is how it started. Jevon was a old dude back when there was coal being, what am I trying to say? When the steam engine first was invented, he was a philosopher of the time, and he said, what the heck is going to happen to coal prices? Everybody was saying, we're going to use a lot less coal because, well, we have this thing that's so much more efficient. So we need less of the thing because it's more efficient. That makes sense, right? Wrong. What actually happened? Well, when we built the steam engine, we could not foresee all of the different use cases that would open up with that door, all the different use cases for coal. So when we had the first big steam engine, we could not anticipate putting that bad boy on wheels, making a gosh darn train out of it, let alone all the other crazy stuff that we use, like steam for even now. Steam powered all sorts of stuff. So what do we see, or what did we see in terms of coal? Many people at the time were predicting coal use going down, coal demand going down very fast. It didn't happen. It exploded because it made coal-powered everything viable. So the same thing is happening here with AI. China's open models and cheap chips, they're driving the cost of AI down fast. They are commoditizing this tool that I think will very shortly, if not already, I think it's already starting to be viewed like this. It should be viewed as a commodity. It should be viewed like the internet, almost like a basic human right in this modern day and age. I truly, truly believe that that's the path we have to go to prevent some dystopian hellscape caste system where only the rich and elite can afford infinite compute. This AI, they have massively more productivity, yada yada yada, and everybody else is stuck here using their brains like idiots. So I don't think that's going to happen. I think that what we're seeing is China doing their thing. This is what they do, right? They are using their leverage of being a superpower that is not strictly capitalist. They have many capitalist characteristics, and they're using these. But what are they doing with the money? They're subsidizing key things for the world, for their people, of course, but also that pushes outwards. And we'll talk about the push and pull dynamic there. I do believe that China commoditizing AI is actually bullish for AI across the board. Let's see. Adrian saying exactly. I don't think people realize how insane AI is. It's going to change everything from medicine to war to everything. It already is. It already is. I believe that we are past the era of kinetic war. Does that mean that we will not blow things up? Absolutely, we're still going to blow things up. But I do believe that, okay, this is a hot take, and maybe I'm very naive and idealistic. We might be past the point of world wars in a sense that, at least controlled world wars, controlled like we've seen in the past, in a sense that I think a lot of these conflicts are fought and won in the simulation deck before they even get out in the field, before we even have to blow anything up. We're starting to have the power to simulate results to a relatively high degree of certainty, and I think that is going to be the biggest change in warfare that AI brings. But literally pick an industry, there's going to be major disruptions, and ask the people in your life, ask the normies how they feel about AI. First off, they freaking hate it. They hate it. And you know why? Well, I mean, realistically, it's probably coming for their job. So that's a good reason to hate it. Kind of, but it doesn't address the root problem, right? AI is not going away. You can choose to be be a Luddite. Just like people said, I'm never using the internet. You will be replaced by somebody who is. I don't make the rules. Unless you're in a niche industry where your creativity needs to come through more than anything that needs to be replicable or, blah, 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 blah. It won't take all the jobs, and I don't think it's going to take nearly as many jobs as people think in the next couple years. I think what will happen is that your coworker who's using agentic workflows will take a lot of your work and your hours. But either way, this is all being driven by China lowering the prices by just dumping their taxpayer money into this research. So if demand keeps climbing, regardless of who wins the model war here, sorry, let me actually, I think I skipped over just one important point. Yeah. So the obvious read for China's open models and cheap chips driving the cost of AI down is that it's bad for the AI trade, right? But no, we're saying no. Because if Javon is right, which, I mean, we have a lot of evidence, a lot of different cycles, new technologies, and it holds fast. So Javon, not a dumb guy. It's really the opposite, right? Cheaper AI means that it gets used in 1,000 more places, and the total demand in the infrastructure, or for the infrastructure underneath, goes up. So think about it like this. What are some other technologies, and where are the kind of limits? Because that's the crux of Javon's paradox. Basically, oh, steam engine. Oh, look at all these new capabilities. Oh, we're advancing, we're expanding. You do reach a point where we've kind of tapped out the amount of, interesting. To some extent, we've kind of tapped out, maxed out the amount of coal we need, but now we have another use case for it with AI too. So interesting that the example may be also experiencing a much bigger demand surge here with AI. So we thought that coal was a dead business, right? Completely dying. I'm not 100% sure that that is the case. So these are some interesting names as well. Look at, BTU. It's the commodity era, guys. It's the age of scarcity. Look at BTU. This is a coal company breaking a downtrend line, coming back, holding its 200-week moving average and starting to push again. So very interesting there. And this is the long and short of it, guys. If Javon's right, cheaper AI means that it gets used everywhere. The demand for infrastructure goes way up, and we're just we're trying to ballpark where the saturation point is for cheap code, for ideas. Is there one? I don't think there is until we're mining asteroids in space. So where everything else, just about every other technology, has a kind of negative feedback loop aspect to it where it's kind of self-capping, where, for example, let's use running water. So for running water, if you don't have any, it's amazing. then all of a sudden, yeah, that the demand for that explodes. At some point, you don't need any more. We can all wash our hands. We can all have we have the washing machine, for example. We got our hose. We got grass in the backyard now. So these are all things that made us use more water, more running water. But at some point, you don't need more. Like I don't need more water. I got enough water. So the question is, where does that come into play with AI? And I just don't think that there really is realistically a point where we say, I don't need cheap code, And what do I say when I mean cheap code? This is the first time in history that code wasn't incredibly expensive to write. Before, you'd have to hire a developer, whether either it's a junior developer, they mess up and it takes forever, or a senior developer and they command a higher price. But code was expensive. You couldn't just launch an app. You couldn't do it. Not on your own, you either had to code it yourself or you had to pay somebody thousands and thousands, like a salary, right? Well, now I can walk on over to my Claude bot here. I can type something in, type a few things in here. It runs a bunch of stuff, and hey, I have a presentation ready. I don't have to. I don't have to be putting out AI slop either, because if you know how to use this stuff, it just gets better and better, right? So if you don't have it customized, you've read the AI slop. It's terrible, right? But if you train it on your own data sets, your own writings, your own work, all of a sudden it becomes a lot less sloppy. So basically what I'm trying to say here is I don't think there's a limit where code is not an incredibly valuable thing that keeps scaling. So I think this trade is just getting started. And I think that when we look back in 5-10 years, we will be shocked at how sure that some of us were, that a top was close. So getting on into it here. If demand keeps climbing, regardless of who wins the model war, the money lands not in the models, because those are becoming commodities, right? Basically free or close to it, but it lands in the physical stuff that's hard to copy, right? So the chips, the memory, the fiber optics, and the power plants. And all of the hard assets, all of the commodities that are needed to build those things. Steel, aluminum, copper, glass. So sand, I guess. I don't know. What's that sand company? I'm so tangential. Publicly traded sand company. It's a silica company. I'll know the ticker when I see it. Not AESI. SLCA, that's what it is. Whoa. Okay, never mind. Don't buy that. AESI, though, that's interesting. Anyways, hard assets, or, commodities. Real things. I think that we keep on seeing that trend continue. So let's get into this stack. This stack, these are my picks and basically how I want to play the AI move, because I'm not betting on which AI model is going to win. I think that's a silly thing to do. Like, as if anybody who uses these regularly knows, they're constantly switching back and forth about which one is better, which is the best chances. Thank you, Talk. You had it instantly. Very nice. Oil sands too? Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, essentially, essentially, I'm not betting on which model wins. I'm betting on 5 physical choke points, physical bottlenecks that get paid no matter which one wins, right? So this is what I want to map here. The full stack in the order in which it actually happens physically is this. So first off, you have the tools that make the chip. So that's lithography and semicaps. So names like ASML, AMAT, LRCX, GFS, stuff like that. So then you have the actual chip itself. The chip itself is going to be, that's going to be stuff like, well, AMD, Intel, NVDA, right? Compute. You have the memory that gets stacked right onto that chip, right? That enables it, essentially. The memory, we are then going on into the photonics, which is basically the fiber and the optics. So all the stuff that lets the chips talk to each other, the interconnectivity. And then finally hypercloud, which is where it all actually gets rented out to the world. And then at the very last step is the power and the energy, which keeps the light on all of it. So basically, we have a little bit of color coding going on here. The yellow is going to be the compute. That's going to be like NVIDIA, Broadcom, the names that everybody kind of talks about, right? And that's because it's actually like the one that I'm kind of the most worried about getting commoditized and losing its edge. Not really worried. I still want to invest in them, but it's not going to be. It's going to be something that I'm just going to be keeping an eye on as we go. It's just that we'll get on into it more later. I'm sorry, I'm stepping on myself trying to figure out the best way to lay out this information. Let's just go like this for now. The greens, these are bottlenecks. These are ones that get structurally harder to copy and scale quickly, and that's kind of the most important thing here to understand. Basically, the chips, they're the headlines. They're the fancy attention grabbers, right? The bottleneck, though, that's where the money's at. So let's start going sleeve by sleeve here and diving underneath the hood, talking about these companies and what they are good at, or what they're for, what they're good at. So these are the lithographers and semi-caps that I'm a fan of. I don't own all of them. I own a little bit of ASML, and I'm waiting to pick up some ACMR. Probably I'll pick up some AMAT as well, but I like ASML as a kind of ballast. This is kind of, these are rough weights, right? This is how, if I was describing it or putting together an equal weight basket, usually I would want kind of a ballast, an anchor in each one, and then I'd want something a little more speculative at a smaller size. So the ACMR, you see size much smaller, much smaller than the anchor here in ASML and AMAT primarily. So I also just included how much they are roughly off highs, how much of a discount you're getting if this thesis plays out, because they will be going to new highs if this thesis plays out. Obviously, I think it will. Obviously, anything can happen. The best laid plans of Mice and Steve will get thrown to the winds by the market gods, but let's talk here. So ASML, the anchor here. Nobody else on Earth makes EUV lithography machines at scale. Just doesn't matter who wins the chip war, right? These guys are gonna win from it. Whoever makes the winning chip still buys ASML's machines to make it. So that's where I'm talking about. The names that I'm picking here, they are not going to be contingent on one headline making or breaking them as a company. So you won't see, there's some names that I think are too risky in that regard, and you won't see those showing up. But names like ASML, very high quality and very high conviction. Applied Materials and Lam Research, rounding it out here. So I added a little bit of, let's see. I actually forget. I don't think I actually have any AMAT. I bought some under 500, and I think I sold it a little over 500 and didn't get back in. Probably a mistake. I do love the company there. AMAT and LRCX, Lam Research, both very high quality. And then, let's see, both essentially lever the same kind of memory capex cycle that we're about to get into and more here. Then we have the speculation with ACMR. I like the Chinese exposure here for semi-caps. This one's definitely size small because of the given political risk, and it's just, or geopolitical risk, it's just a little bit sketchier. That being said, the potential for it, very, very cool company. So this is like roughly what I'm kind of looking for in the breakdown. So this sleeve, it doesn't care about who wins the AI race, right? They just care that the race keeps going, that somebody's running. So the actual chip, that's what we're going to get into next. And this is one that I probably would be sizing a little bit smaller. And sorry, I think that, yeah, this should be 15%, not 22. So apologies there. This should be about 7%, 3%, 2.5%, something like that, right? Because it's well, here's the thing. In one regard, it's the engine, right? So Adrian was talking about how basically NVIDIA is like one of the safest things that he feels like he can hold because it's so core to the whole thing. That's how I feel more about ASML. NVIDIA is close, but it's the engine. So okay, fine. 22% is not bad, actually. This was the first number I had. I think the revision didn't make it in this script, but that's fine. NVIDIA is the best chip company on the planet right now. I would say that it's also, it's the name every competitor, every hyperscaler, custom silicon program, every Chinese chip maker, it's the one that they're all racing to erode, right? So I want exposure, but I just don't want it to be like my biggest conviction bet. That's kind of how I'm feeling on it. That's reserved for sleeves that are structurally harder to attack, I'd say. Not that NVIDIA doesn't have a moat. It's just that, they're kind of at the center of this whole, the eye of the hurricane, I guess. Broadcom, this one's a more interesting story to me, honestly. So somebody was in here, I think CJ was in here talking about Broadcom. Is it time to buy? Well, this is a great way to kind of build this basket. You can wait for the names to present good opportunities at low risk, like Broadcom off the 200-day moving average. And then you can feel pretty good that you're not overbuying or overpaying for some of this stuff. And you won't be over leveraged too, because you'll take the opportunities as they come and kind of build in that way. So Broadcom, fun to talk about here, good to talk about. And essentially, they're custom AI silicon for hyperscalers who don't want to be fully dependent on NVIDIA. So we also have Dell. They're kind of the server integration play here. And this is one that I have been in and out of. I've made money on it. Last time I got stopped out, though. So I'm waiting to see if it's going to reclaim its moving averages. Really quickly, we can look at the charts. It's trying its best here. I want to see it over its moving averages to feel better. It is holding the 50. It is holding this pivot as well. Interesting level, but I really want to see what it does when it reclaims that kind of 450 area. NVIDIA, a little ambiguous close. I wouldn't mind seeing it kind of come back and fill in this poor structure. Maybe get 208 again. I'd probably be a buyer there if it holds the 50-day, holds this W base back test. And remember, this is what we always look for. W, expansion, it should hit the 1.6, if not the measured move of that. Almost to the penny, 1.6 there. Move done, then it should come back and test. And if it's real, then it should push up from there. And then you can look for basically the larger W to play out. This might need to come back a little more like that. And I think we didn't look at ACMR here. Curlin, hugging these moving averages. This could be the higher low. I'd like to see one more flush day. Don't think it gets back down here, but maybe to 70. 70 would be nice. I'm a fan of this on a higher time frame, just coming back into prior highs, holding. And I think it's a winner. But it is speculative, more speculative. Let's catch up on some of these comments. Yeah, a lot of people throwing a lot of tickers here. I'm going to add some to the list. We can talk about them and their place in this as well. Yeah, GLW, absolutely amazing. I still hold some. I sold a lot though. So that was one of my biggest holdings in the that I've accumulated. I was buying at 150, 160, and everywhere in between. I was out most into the 170s. Got a little off at 175, and then holding a little tranche left there. Wild mover on that one. CK Richard saying, commoditization will crush margins, but will greatly benefit large players that have scale. I agree. So I think this is also a common trend that we're kind of going to be seeing in the next couple of years with these hyperscalers, especially the, the neo cloud names like Meta, Amazon, stuff like that. I think that they're basically going to have to weather the storm for a little bit until the tokenomics stabilize or come down. Basically, right now they're subsidizing my AI and your AI with enterprise AI. I don't see that changing really short term, but I do see that changing over the next couple of years as token costs come down, as things get more efficient, and as China keeps cooking our frontier labs and getting all these, just lighting the stove under their asses there and getting them to innovate, right? That's what's good about capitalism, right? Innovation. So China understands that. China, I will say, very fascinating how they implement the good parts of capitalism to kind of fund and be the engine for growth for their more socialist, communist framework there. Interesting how it's working on a global scale and how it's affecting us. So this is something that I watch pretty closely, and fascinating for me to watch. We can talk about that more in a bit as well. Oh, we're talking water stocks. I got to add these to the list. I want to talk about these two. You got WTRG and AWR. Is that Arrowhead and I don't know the other one? WTRG. I like water as well. Essential utilities. Look at the base. This thing eventually will make a massive move. AUK is one. American Waterworks. Looking very nice. Doing this little pullback. I wanted it a little deeper, but man, does this look good. We also have WTTR, I believe. Select Water Solutions. Yeah, crazy move here. Yeah, we were watching this squeeze take place. I can't be a part of this one. Too crazy. And there's one other one, too, that I'm forgetting, but oh well. Let's see. Yeah, getting a lot of love for Clack in the comments. Yeah, global market leader in semiconductor yield management. I didn't know that. Huh. So this is one that I don't have a super good fundamental understanding of. So let me get back to you guys and where it fits in on this trade. I forget why I did not pick it. I reviewed it, but it was been a couple weeks now since I kind of went through the whole basket. So let's see. You think ASML is safe as F? Yeah, I think it's literally the safest stock in the AI trade. I would agree with that. They can't be replicated. Every single chip uses them. And it's also insane. What they do is pure engineering madness. Absolutely. So this is super cool, guys. ASML, they have whole specialized teams that fly out and set up these massive machines. It's the craziest thing. It's so highly specialized. Nobody knows how to do it but them. Nobody has the infrastructure, obviously equipment, but them. And yeah, it's all etching. It's very, very cool stuff. Very, very cool stuff. Adrian saying NVIDIA's king. It's not about the chips only anymore. They have fingers in the entire chain. I do think that they're reducing their risk by basically, like you said, just spiderwebbing into every possible thing. They're constantly investing in small AI companies. And the idea is, hey, well, if we invest in all these smaller AI companies, maybe in the future something happens where compute gets more efficient or there's more competition or they're getting more longevity bang for their buck with the models that they have or the clusters that they have. And their hardware, the hardware spend slows. Well, they can offset that decrease in potential decrease in future revenue by investing in all of these companies that are going to be benefactors of the AI that they sold them. It's cool, right? Very cool. So NVIDIA took a big stake in RXRX, for example. The idea being, hey, we give these guys, whatever, a couple million worth of H100s, you know, of the clusters, of the chips. They go solve a disease. This thing quadruples. They make their money back handily, right? That kind of thing. So they're in a whole lot of it. Literally the backbone of all of it, as he says. Yeah. Let's see. Richard saying, I don't think diversification is too important unless you're ultra high net worth. Still having both Qs and SPYs redundant. I mean, SPYs what? A quarter tech now anyway? Just want to bite the bullet. Buy some XSD. Buy some SOXX, right? Come on. Lumentum is like a leveraged ETF. How so? Interesting. Like it moves like one? Or just because they have such broad exposure? Let's see. Hit that like button. NQ Short Queen. What's up, Ale? How you doing? Good to see you in here. All right, almost caught up with the comments. We'll get back into this. We are water. We are water. You're right. So Clack yield management refers to the systems, inspection machinery, and data analytics software used to maximize the number of working functional microchips produced from raw silicon wafers. I see. Okay, so they're going to be more similar to Teradyne or Amkor maybe or Air. So they're they inspect the stuff, right? They test it, inspect it, and make sure that it works before you invest a ton of money into it, I figure. What else we got? NVIDIA's like Amazon 10 years ago. They're building a web. Yeah, absolutely. ACLS, there's another interesting one. Yeah, good call, Richard. We can talk this one too. I'm not an expert on these guys. I don't know a ton about Axcelis. I'll have to ask my friends who are very well known. Not well known. They know a ton about the space. I'm the tourist, but I'm doing my best here. Let's see. Your mom's the best trader you know? My dad's one of the best traders I know. He paid for his current house with by buying oil at like 28 a barrel or something. Full porting. Fucking degen. Oh boy. Micron is so undervalued. They just revealed new research labs yesterday. Interesting. So Micron, we'll definitely be talking about this when we get into the memory sleeve. So I'm going to save that. Amkor, by the way, cheap as F in the 50s. I agree. It was even cheaper at 24 when we bought it. But you know what? I could get down with this under the 200 here. I thought it was going to have a much more explosive move off their higher low. Interesting to see them getting bagged on their earnings. That really messed the chart up a little bit. We came back down, checked in with the big breakout level here. We're basically right there. I just want to see this higher low form and some volume coming in. But I do think this is a good place to be involved. Under 50, I think you'll be very happy in a year or two. Yeah, Amcor's awesome. They were one of my picks for the beginning of the year. I might just slap them right back in there, to be honest, you know? Farm Trader saying, it's so funny. My father-in-law used to have a small SMT factory in San Jose. I've heard all this for 20 years. Nobody cared. Oh, boy. Yeah, I guess if you know, you know. And I know a few people in the industry, as a broader industry, just tech as in general. Like, they're very tapped in. They knew where the wind was heading with the AI trade, and a lot of them bought Micron at $90, and they're living like kings now. Very cool. Okay, let's get back into this though. I know everybody loves their NVIDIA. I just don't know. I just don't know. Long term, I do see potential for other routes there. That being said, it still is an anchor. I just it's not one that I would like to kind of switch this out for others as other opportunities present themselves. And I think Broadcom, Dell, both nice anchors there as well. I also like Chinese compute exposure in a smaller size, but KSTR or SMHC gets you involved in Chinese semiconductors. A very cool space to be in, but very speculative, let's say. Long term, I see nothing but good things for these investments. AMD and STM, some secondary compute there. You could also throw those in. I actually think I like STM a little bit more. It's on sale now too, under the prior levels. I'm not sure the chart's ready though. It's kind of messy. So that's the kind of thing we're seeing. Yeah, if NVIDIA fails, the entire market is going down hard. Well, yeah. Yeah. You're not wrong. But but the entire market could fail. I don't think it will though. Let's talk a little more about this stuff. So we talked NVIDIA here. We talked Broadcom. I do think, let's see. I think all of this is kind of secondary to the memory trade, though. This is my number one, and power is also a big focus for me. I think that's where the real, well, I think it's all real edge, but I think this is where the best structural edge is going to be, and that's where most of the analysts that I follow seem to kind of be as well. So let's talk about that. I think that this is one that you should be sizing into if you believe in this AI trade. It's scary. They move big, but there's ways to kind of mitigate that, and we can talk about that. But first off, it's the one that we're all watching, right? Micron. They are by far the number one for me. So they're the US's only HBM, high bandwidth memory producer. So they demand the largest position in the basket in my book. They also just move the best in my opinion. So still off about 34% from highs, I believe. Still trading at a fraction of NVIDIA's forward multiple, even after the bounce here. The gap between the price and the story is basically what I want to build into, right? So SK Hynix is, they're the actual HBM share leader. They have about 50 to 55% of the market. They sold out to NVIDIA, they are sold out to NVIDIA through 2026 with their HBM ramp still ahead. It doesn't get the same retail attention that Micron does. But it's starting to now that we have the ADR here, and that's been really fun to trade. Its primary listing, I believe the ADR, yeah, you can't go by the ADR because it just came out recently, but the primary listing on Korea is down about 43%, so it still is at a very deep discount, if I recall correctly. We can check in on that today, actually. So I really am a big fan of this. These are the two big names that I'm working into positions in. The DRAM is kind of my placeholder. If I'm kind of overwhelmed on the day, I'm like, I don't want to manage two trades. I'll just slap on some DRAM and figure it out later. So there's the US ADR chart. There it is, 000660. And you can see this is a really nice base starting to form here. Drawdown from the highs, currently at, 42% still. This is a banger. Banger if we catch this. Sorry, give me one sec here. There we go. right. So I love this chart too. It's getting the nice curl over. This is one of the healthiest that I'm seeing in all of these lists. So I think this is a good time to talk about it. We have our classic pattern playing out here. We're starting to flush down, comes up, more curled base. It's more of a volatility contraction where it tested up again here too. But we got this neckline pretty clearly. We'll draw it as a zone because that makes more sense. Use this high volume, use these moving averages. I'd call that the neckline right there. So in my book, looking pretty good here, and I think that this is probably done with the bottoming process. If it isn't, then it might take a little bit longer. Maybe if NVIDIA earnings are bad, and then we might see wash out to the 200-day, flush out there in a higher low. That would be really nice for us as investors, but we'll see. So that's the technical side there. Let's see. I like the DRAM as well. SanDisk is in a smaller size as well. Basically, I think these are the big boys. This is where I really want to place my big bets. Yes, they swing wildly, so I'm just basically taking a nibble. Then if it moves up a lot, I'll sell half. If it comes back down, I'll take another nibble and just kind of keep doing this to build out my cost basis, or to lower my cost basis, build out my position. So the HBM total addressable market is now pulled forward to cross $100 billion in 2027, guys. So that's a year earlier than prior estimates, and that's the number that makes me feel the highest confidence in this sleeve compared to some of the other ones, like the compute one. It's also the most fun. These names just move really fun. They're fun to trade. So I'm pretty enamored with them and want to keep building positions. There's also Samsung trading under the OTC, which is SNLF. If you really want SSNLF, yes. If you really want exposure there, but it's kind of a pain in the ass. I like the DRAM for the broad exposure there, and you get that Samsung in there as well. So that's why I did that there. It basically gives you the same kind of broad memory exposure on the normal exchange. So getting on into photonics. This is the one that'll show up a little bit later, but let's talk about it. So once you've got the chip and you got the memory stacked on top of it, the next constraint is going to be to get data between the chips and servers fast enough. So this is where photonics and optical names are changing the game. As racks get denser, copper runs out of bandwidth. As we keep needing more wiring, there's going to be more and more of a demand for alternatives to copper, because you know what? We simply cannot mine enough fast enough. Also, why you're seeing the copper names going crazy recently too. Well, they're commodities plus an AI trade in disguise. Let's talk about what we have here. So first off, Corning, one of the deepest drawdowns besides Sivers. Oh my goodness, this one's getting beat on. So Corning, deep drawdown and about 50% off. They're a little bit less glamorous than the Coherents or the Lumentums. They do fiber, but they're unglamorous but absolutely essential. Coherent and Lumentum are the near-term pluggables. They do like optical transceivers, shipping and generating. They're shipping and generating the revenue right now. They're incredibly good companies, incredibly profitable, and it's just about, well, how much room is there compared to the increasingly bullish estimates? I guess you could say that. We've been trading in and out of these as well. Lumentum, I don't actually own any right now. I'd like to pick some back up, trading in and out of those, as well as Coherent. Stopped out of that one. Probably about time to get back into some of these. So I have been really focusing on the memory because it just moves so well, and then working out from there. Photonics up on the list too. The chips more of that kind of, or the semi-caps more of the kind of anchors. So those are the ones that I was buying and feeling safer holding. Micron as well. But besides that, just still not super heavily invested in the space. I'm actually more concentrated in metals. I have a good amount of energy on right now in biotech. So this is not like my one thing, but it is very important, I think. Moving on to Adrian's favorite basket here. We got hyperclouds. So not just neoclouds. I wanted to include some hyperscalers in there as well. This is the part of the sleeve where everything gets consumed, right? The data centers and the cloud platforms rent this compute out to everyone building AI products. So Alibaba, I actually have a ton of I'm super high conviction in Chinese cloud exposure. I think Baba's the easy way to put this on. It is down a lot today. I did not buy any, and I'm not sure if I'm ready to. So this might change. I need to really review what happened here to cause them to wash out after earnings like this, because the earnings actually recovered very nicely. The earnings dip, just to flood out again there. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong charts. You can't see that, I don't think. And there's Baba. Yeah, rough candle here. Rough candle here, probably coming back. And so I'm holding off on this one. I do have a starter that I'm now a little bit red on. I've just been taking a little bit off when it's over 30. I added at 25. Yeah, on a reclaim here. That part's underwater. That's okay. It's not quite ready to add, but not selling either. And basically, I think that it obviously it comes with its own regulatory and geopolitical risk, which is probably why we're seeing this smack back right now. So once it stabilizes, it will be a good buying opportunity in my opinion. But I do just want to kind of confirm the fundamentals that caused that move. Meta, that's another core holding here. I think I'd actually probably adjust this up to maybe 4%, 5%. I think that this is really. It's really nice because it basically self-funds its own AI CapEx out of an enormous, really profitable ad business, right? So it's a very different risk and risk profile to a lot of companies that are borrowing to build data centers. Looking at you, all those neoclouds. So I initially had some other names on this list as well. I think NBIS. I don't know why Baidu got slapped here. It should be Baidu. Basketed with Baba here. I like NBIS the most out of the neoclouds, but it is a very volatile trade. IREN, also decent. APLD, I like the fundamentals there better than IREN. Also decent, but still, these names are not easy to trade. It's kind of like buy them when they're down and just wait for them to chop out and push up. We also had Arista and Cloudflare on here. Really good businesses, but they're more exposed to the hyperscaler CapEx growth. More exposed if hyperscaler CapEx growth decelerates. And they're both basically at highs. So, I didn't feel as good. They're just kind of different trades in my book. They're trading off different playbooks there. Not much of a discount to buy there. And I really think that this next part might be the most fun because this is the power. So this is the sleeve that's going to be kind of... It's my biggest interest besides memory, I think. And this is one point that I just wanted to highlight here. So you can install a GPU faster than you can energize it. Power is going to lag AI demand through 2027 on every source that I can find, basically. It's the #1 physical bottleneck ahead of the chips themselves. So there's 3 parts going on to my basket here. I'm not 100% sold on CEG. Right now, I actually have URNM, which is not very different. That's a uranium miners. This is the actual nuclear power plant, but it's kind of in the same space. So that's where I have that on right now. I'll probably pick up some CEG pretty soon. I think it probably is a good time to. Oh, it's just such a slow mover. Still stuck under the downtrend doom line. I really need to see this break for me to get very bullish about it. Earnings, not much of anything happening there. So still waiting, but I do like the name. GEV, that's my baby. I like VRT a lot too. And just, man, are they good companies. So let's talk about it a little bit. So Constellation is CEG. So that's the generation side, right? So it's a pure nuclear play, essentially. Let's see. Well, it's not. It's the #1 pure nuclear play in the country. They've got about 55 gigawatts in production there, off 33% from highs roughly. It's contracted enough cash flow from the hyperscaler power deals, and it really hasn't moved much. So the gap between price and contracted reality is what I like to kind of, I always look for the gap between fundamentals and the technicals there. And sure, sometimes the technicals can tell us that maybe the fundamental narrative is not intact, but I think usually it's just about, it's a method of liquidity. When this thing gets eyes on it, when there's a reason, when there's a catalyst, all of a sudden people will take into account all of the great fundamentals that were ignored before. So next up is the equipment and delivery here. I love GE Vernova. This is definitely the standout for me. They do turbines. They do grid hardware. It's all sold out for years. Their pricing power is up roughly 300%. Crazy stuff. And it's held up better than most of the book here. It's only up or down, I think, 16% off highs last I checked. Let's double check that. Maybe a little more now. A little bit weak there in the past couple days. Yeah, 20% down now. But still trying to hold this low. I don't know if it will. So I cannot add. Unfortunately. Not yet. But once we get a nice higher low, nice double little push off here, maybe a reclaim of the 9 at the very least, I will probably take another nibble here. My starter is from much lower. It's like 6 something. 657, I think. Sounds right. Amazing company. We also have VRT. This is Vertiv. They're going to be handling the cooling. So they're running about a $15 billion backlog as liquid cooling shifts from optional to mandatory in the current chip densities, or at the current chip densities. So 20% of the whole basket, I think it's worth putting, a lot of weight into this one, maybe even more. And yeah, this and memory are my favorites, basically. They're the most important in my book. Arguably the hardest constraint of all to solve quickly, though, is this energy, though. You just cannot build a power plant or transmission line in a fiscal quarter. It's undoable. So let's bring this all together here. Essentially, last week we talked about the technical patterns that we look for. That lower low into higher low that gives us the base confidence that we need to take stabs in these names that are down quite a lot. Some of them down 50+%. There are some other names that's in the past week or so that I've been looking at that I might integrate into this. Clack, actually, going to be one of them now that you guys have put it on my radar again. I'll give it a second look over, see if there's maybe a better fit than anything else in my list. I also want some Amcor, and I'm looking at air as well. So some packaging, some testing. This was a bottleneck that I played heavily starting in January, in the beginning of the year, and I think it's ready to go again. So first off, a few things. These are kind of longer term holds, but with some caveats. So first off, memory, historically the most cyclical sector, both in this book and just like ever. It's not something, it's a trade, right? It's something that I want to buy and then sell, and then I'll buy it again when the cycle kind of comes crashing on down, as it just about, as it always does. Here's kind of the playbook in my opinion. So basically we get the technical setup on this lower low, higher low. We take some starters in each of these baskets with a focus on the memory and the power, but specifically that memory short term. And as we get longer, I want to kind of transfer some of those gains in memory to power, the less cyclical things. That being said, these are all multi-year holds in my book. Like I said, though, I will be trading around them very actively. I will not just be holding Micron through an 80% drawdown, for example, I do feel pretty good holding NVIDIA through a 30% drawdown, though, or GEV through a 30% drawdown. It's probably a better example, something like that. Getting on into the questions part, let me know what you guys are thinking. We can talk. I can take questions on these names. We can talk technicals. We can talk just about whatever you like. And then we'll wrap this up definitely within a half an hour. We'll see how long we get. I got some charts to get to as well. I'm a little worn out today, so forgive the low energy, but I want to get you the information you're looking for. So let me flip back to my other window so I can see your lovely comments. There you are. What's up, Black Mamba in the house? What's going on? Yeah, Amcor. You like Amcor too? A lot of people like Amcor. MBIS, yeah, absolutely. That's my pick for NeoCloud exposure. Willie asking, why don't they build data centers in polar regions if cooling is such a cost? Want to find out together? I don't know. I would assume there are some really good reasons that I'm just not smart enough to know right off the rip. the logistics seem insane. How do you get the stuff there? First off, yeah, astronomical construction costs, high data transmission delays, latency. That's also interesting. And I think this is the big one: lack of local power grids and technicians. So I knew it was an obvious answer, but I didn't know what it was. So maybe it wasn't so obvious. I think a more interesting way to look at it is maybe we build it in the closest to the energy sources, the closest to the cheapest energy sources. I think that makes the most sense. Cooling, getting more efficient. I think that it's more important to have the juice to cool than the cooling. You can get that, you know. What do I think of BWXT? That is the spin-off from the Babcock and Wilcox. That's the nuclear spin-off, right? I don't know a ton about them. They were absolutely amazing as a trade last year for the swing trade guys. Now it's looking pretty dire. Looks like it's starting its stage 4 breakdown. So, you know, we always got these different stages. You have one stage, accumulation, stage 1. Then you have stage 2, acceleration or markup. Stage 3, what's the word I'm looking for here? Distribution. Stage 4, markdown. So you start markdown when you break the range. In my book, this thing is just breaking the range. See that? So honestly, not something I like. Not something I like here. CK Richard G, is this my buddy Richard? Hong Kong weather? It sounds like Richard. What's up, dude? Howdy. I know I have a DM from you. I need to tap in with you. VRT 220 target, says Bryant. I think that sounds right. You like 220? Yeah, the gap. Or at higher lows off of the 200 day. I might try it here. This goes on the focus. Could it come back? Yeah, it could, but I don't think it should. I think it wants to hold this big volume shelf here, this 200 day, this prior, level of consolidation after the breakout. It undercut into the gap a little bit too, and that might be enough. Might be enough of a check-in. Let's see. There is no optics ETF basket. There is. I just don't know if it's good. It's LAZR. LAZR. Photonics and optical ETF. It's trying here. It's trying its darndest to put in a higher low. We should look at the breakdown too. Lumentum number 1, good. AXTI number 2. I don't even know what this one is. Interesting. AOI high weighted. It's got juice. It's got some air in there. TSEM, Tower Semiconductors, great company. A little bit of coherent. And Yangtze optical fiber and cable. Interesting. Primarily like half US, 25% Asia. Cool. I don't know how I feel about this. I think I'd probably rather just own a bunch of Lumentum. A little bit of air, I guess. AXTI is interesting. AXTI is interesting. But I don't know if I need all of these. Hey, ChemLife. What's up, dude? LB, nice breakout on the news on data center pushback. Different angle to play it. LB. What is LB? Let's look at it. Land Bridge. Oh, I've heard of this one. Wow. Okay, now we're cooking. This is a very cool chart. Wow. All right. Always was something cool to look at here, ChemLife. Appreciate you, man. Let's check it out. Really nice neckline here. Yeah, there we go. The top of this volume shelf. This thing wants to fly. This thing wants to fly. And what do we got structurally? I see inverted head and shoulders type beat. Something like that. Looking pretty good. Targets higher, much higher. So I want to look at the fundamentals of this one here. Different angle to play data centers. This is very cool on the focus list, as well as AXTI. You guys were chatting about that. Man, 7.5% day on FCX. Wild. Oops. How about storage? WDC, STX. I just feel like it's. I know it's like downstream of HBM. I would rather just focus on the most important part, which I see as HBM. I think Micron and SKHY are better, but technically. Interesting. This is actually a pretty clean chart. I think it's making a bigger W here and kind of in this nook, the right elbow. I don't hate it. I just don't like it fundamentally quite as much. And I know that we need all of it. I know a demand for HBM will also increase demand for hard drives, all sorts of storage like that. They're just not my favorite. It's not my favorite. Let's see. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Simul Gokaya. I always don't know if I'm saying your name right. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, let me know. But appreciate you in here. And there are people who know way more about this. This is me spending a couple months learning here and there as a trader, learn about these baskets. But the analysts, the guys who really understand this stuff, they're the ones who I'm learning from as much as I can. People who really understand the breakdown of these companies from a more fundamental level than I will say. Cooling is insanely pricey, absolutely. So you can also look at names like Fix, Comfort Systems here, having a little bit of a washout. That's interesting. I thought that it was catching and breaking out and failing. So maybe the basket needs to reset a little bit. I think Flex is another one. Flex Limited. Yeah, it looks like it. So maybe, I mean, these seem a little toppy, honestly. I'm not sure why they're not acting right. So it's interesting. Got BSX in the chat. Data centers in space. Yeah, let's go, baby. I think I watched that episode of Billions. What are they doing? Mining asteroids? Let's see. BSX, I called this one out at 45 and I didn't take it. I'm miffed. I'm annoyed. There's my annotations. Just on this day, I should have bought when it tried to break down on earnings and it didn't. Open low, closed high. What else do you need? Yikes. Yeah, I should have done that. Trading up into test the gap, failing, coming back into moving averages. Probably wants to push up, finish the gap. Nice chart. You keep talking about CW talk. What is CW? It's going to be something nuclear, I would imagine. Oh, Curtis Wright. Yeah. Okay. Super high quality and it's selling off. So this is a name where it's like, for me, very spooky. The first big break in, I don't know, a 200% move. Realistically, it probably does something like this. Comes down to maybe like a monthly level of interest. My levels say like 500 to 550 maybe. So some of these I can't be buyers up here. Maybe this is the best time to buy a dip, but I can't touch it. All right, working through these comments here. Grunfield asking about ALB again. Yes, absolutely. Lithium and Industrial, Albemarle. Albemarle. I called this one out at 80 and I didn't take it, so I'm very annoyed about that too. Haven't been looking at the chart recently, but we can talk about it now that it's, coming back for me a little bit. Awesome. Clean breakout there off of a key level that it traded back down into. That's nice. Little deep cup and handle action. So here's how I want to look at this. I want to take this range and awesome. Yeah, we reclaimed the 50%. I really like that as long as it's over 135, over this weekly 200 as well. Very interesting spot. The weekly is just curling over, and I believe LAC had a hell of a day today too. 7%. Pretty decent. Trying to bottom here. Can it? I don't know. It's back to where it should be bottoming. Gave away the whole breakout. This was the move when they were reporting, when it was announced that that Trump took a stake in them. So this one has been taking its sweet darn time. Might finally be turning around, but I still don't like LAC. I still don't like it. I think ALB is just the better way to play. Just much higher quality. What else? Black Mamba talking SoFi. I heard that had a day. All the fintechs starting to pop. Okay. Okay. It's a nice base. We've been watching this base for a while, this exact same level. So, yeah. Looks good. Push through today's highs, and then you get into the lower area of the shelf, and you should be able to push up, have a date with the 200-day up at 2050. I think that's where you look for it. Give me one sec here. What in tarnation? Something's running in my port after hours. Why am I up money? Oh, it's Cure. Awesome. I think this thing's going to break out any day now, guys. It is after hours. It keeps flashing like really high. It says it's 48.50, but people keep buying it higher. I keep seeing fills at like 49.30 or something. Like, I think it's really close to breaking into this gap here. They released a note on their Huntington's drug. Got people a little bit excited, but still just consolidation, grinding up here. Interesting one. I'm in this one. I'm in a little CLPT in a similar space. I'm in Beam. This is, oh, it's 30 after hours. It's going to run. I trimmed some in 30. That's fine. This one's really nice. I think this one surges to 32.50 pretty quick next week and probably ends up being a much more expensive stock in the future. Sorry, let me get back on track here. What are my thoughts on HPE with earnings coming up? Finished Friday green, going into next week's with earnings feeling bully. Let's look. Take a look-see. What a weird chart. Incredibly strong. The fact that it ran up like this is wild. Definitely a seller there. Catching where it should. Should be right at the 50% of this range too. There it goes, right at the 50%. So it's doing the thing. Here's what bulls want to see. I'm not sure they'll get it yet, but we can talk about it. Bulls want to see this kind of price action, probably with a little flush and pop like that, something like that. You have this hollow space here. This is empty. This is just, price can go very quickly from above this purple zone to the bottom of this purple zone. So we should, yeah, low volume nodes. See, it's nice and light. There you go. So give it a push down, buy it off of the 50-day. That's what I would like to see. Right around $50. And then you might bottom tick this thing. And if not, then you can say, all right, daily close under the 50-day. I'll get out and try again. I would say that I am cautiously optimistic on this one just because it's so strong. If this one runs, it will bring Dell with it and vice versa. Dell's a weird one. Dell's a weird one. I don't know what to do with this chart. I think it's still bullish and it's just messing with everybody. I'm not in anymore. I need to get back in if I want to play it. Maybe we're doing like a weird back test of this kind of downtrend line, something like that. All right, I'm 10 minutes delayed here, working through all the comments here. Bryant likes LB too, okay. This is like when all your friends meet each other. We got Richard. Me and Richard started a little small business, a little consulting business a year or so ago. He's a good buddy over in Hong Kong. Good to see you in here. Good to see all the new folks. Good to see all the old folks trading in here. We even got Chem Life in the mix. It's a party. Let's see. ChemLife saying I'd buy the retest at 80 on. Why am I typing his name? Retest of 80 on LB. That'd be nice. I don't know if we get it. Yeah, it's such a clear neckline. If it gives a neckline back test, I'm all over that. Add a little alert there. It trades thin and is a bit extended fundamentally right now. Totally fair. Totally fair. It is up in the rafters, so to speak, but it may be breaking out. Compared to MU, they're quite bad and overvalued. That's WDC and yeah, STX. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, they move slower than HBM, different products, but are very needed. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I want to get into, Adrian's talking his software as a service. I do still want to nibble into this basket more. I only want to focus on the winners. Oh, Palantir. Ah, gosh, darn it. I had my alert too low. I wanted it off the 9-day moving average. That was my entry for sure, for sure. Whack. This thing's so strong. All right. On the focus list. That's annoying. That's how they get you. Too many charts to watch every day. Zeta had a good day today. Beautiful. That was off the 20 as well. Shoot. Well, not very extended. Maybe they give us one look back, Adrian. What do you think? Do I get another chance or do they just surge? Either way, I'm going to buy some next week. I want some exposure in this space. These are the names that I like. You're in service now. I mean, that looks good too. Yeah, sure. I like the others more, though. Rather stick with the leaders. Talks buying the private equity stocks. BlackRock and Apollo. I think Apollo's the best one. Is that it? It's APO, right? Looks interesting. What's the other one? Owl. Up nicely off the lows. BLK, BlackRock. Oh, wow. That's nice. Not sure how I feel about this. KKR, this is a nice chart. That's compelling. Nice higher low. Okay, this is clean. So we have the traditional lower low, higher low that we always look for. There's our neckline. Currently on the daily, moving average is catching up. It is just surfing. Surfing the 9, surfing the 20, and now the 200 as well. So this stage 2 breakout underway. It should be. That's what you'd like to see at least. I like that. On the focus list. At some point, it stops being a focus list. ChemLife asking about LAR, another lithium company. Lithium Argentina. Oh, now we're cooking. Nice higher low under the 200 day, but at 200 is rising, so I'm okay with it. Testing the point of control. Yeah, I like this one even more than ALB, I think. How did SQM do on earnings, by the way? It's Chilean, but oh, wow. There you have it. Big surge following earnings. I would be surprised if LAR doesn't contribute here or participate as well. You also have the fun angle of Peter Thiel being very interested in Argentina right now. He is usually interested in things that can make him money. I think there's a lot of opportunity in Argentina. LAR looks great. On the focus list. What else? What else? What else? We also have... So ChemLife saying on LAR, fundamentally solid at current lithium prices, operating margins of 70%-ish. Holy moly. That sounds pretty good. Yes, I'm a big fan of this ChemLife. I think that... Okay, within this range, where there's the 50 right at the neckline, what about the bigger range? Yep. I like this. I mean, this is... should be good. Yeah, this seems good. Let's look at Argentina as a whole. Also very tight. Do not bet against Latin America, guys. They're going to have their golden age for investing at the very least. Hopefully just in general. Grunfield saying, SoFi needs to close over 20 to validate. I agree there. Inverted head and shoulders played out beautifully for Bitcoin. How far does it go? I got Hood for from 90. Nice pickup there. I should have been buying in the low or mid 90s. How high does Bitcoin go? I think it's, man. What I have is sweeping this prior swing high, testing the major uptrend line, this dotted line here, testing the 50-day, 50-week, 200-day. It's under the 200. What am I looking at? 50-week. Yeah, okay. 80 to 82 is where I have it going. It could be done. I don't think it is, but it could be. I think 80 to 82, and then it pulls back. Something like that. I don't know. That'd be nice. It'd be nice. Trying to do this. Cure. Is there anything actually happening with Cure? I'm pretty sure it's just doing silly stuff. I don't believe I'm actually up this money. But it's factoring into the PL. That makes me feel better. Yeah, on my account it says that it's trading up at 49.30, basically the high of the day. It's tight in this range. Definitely acting like it wants to push up. Hopefully today wasn't a failed breakout. I think it's probably okay. Guys, I keep scrolling and I just stay at like 9 to 8 minutes back. This is crazy. You guys are pumping out comments. I'm trying to catch up, I promise. ARCT thoughts. Woof. It went up again. It's into the gap again. It's trading into, look, closing to the penny right into my monthly trigger. So if it can find traction over, pop through 1350, back test and hold. Why shouldn't it go to 20? I don't know. I don't know what this is. So pretty crazy the way that it's surging into the gap like this. Another level you could look for a back test is retesting the bottom of the gap. So it might come back down to 12. And you could check. Gunfield in the house. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you being nice and active. Good stuff you're showing me so far. Meta seems way oversold, but I'm scared to punch it. Yeah, I don't know why did it sold like this? I'd be a little scared too, but round number 550, send it. I say send it. I think it's a good company. I might buy some with you. Ares Management, another private equity, I'm assuming. That looks better. Big old flag. Not my favorite, but I like it. Willie Hayes, 3K profit last week, 0 this week. So you made 1,500 weekly. That's pretty good. It's a job and a half. It's a good job. How about that? Very nice, Willie. Good shit. Peter and Willie. Oh, boy. Oh, mega making Argentina great again. Yeah, we got to get rid of all the socialism, I guess. To be fair, they did have a mess down there before Millet came in. But to be fair, it still was a mess. He's a mess. Whatever. That being said, I'm very bullish on the company, or country, I should say. Y'all are having too much fun here. Josh calling out Vale. V-A-L-E. Brasilia. This one was trading in the gutter for so long. This 8s and 6. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I love this name still. Look at the downtrend line break. You want commodities? Brazilian commodities? Come on in. Speaking of which, I know we talked about it earlier, but PBR looking phenomenal here. Talk and anybody else here. Chemlife, what do you think about PBR? This thing's looking awesome to me. Perfect stage 1 base breakout and back test. It's got the tailwinds of energy. It's got the tailwinds of Latin America exposure. Also, I think it's still got a great dividend. It should. Six to 7%. It's good. It's good. It's not as good as it was. I remember when the divvies were all messed up and like they were so mispriced as a company that like Chem, wasn't it like 40% dividends or something insane? I remember those and Zim dividends were insane. Funds outflows on EWZ? Oh, do I have to throw my whole thesis out here for the short term? It looks like a buy to me. It looks like a high or low base. Under the 200, it's on sale. I guess it could fail, but not bad. ChemLife talking the lithium angle. The lithium angle is a pseudo hedge versus high oil product prices as well. Okay. For the LAR, I figure. Yeah. All right, I'm 4 minutes back, guys. I promise I'm going to catch up here. Bitcoin going to cause so much FOMO soon? It's already getting me. Kira printed 2 shares at 49.31. That's why I'm up. Up. Somebody wanted in bad for their $100. That's so funny. Ay. Argentina's bouncing back big, very bullish on Latin America. Yeah, no, if in terms of like economics, in terms of investability, yes. In terms of human rights, I don't know. I'm not there, but dude's legit crazy. So I don't know. EC, this is Colombian oil. Ecopetrol, Colombia. Wow. This one looks good to you? It looks crazy high to me. I guess it could go crazy higher. I too also think of Pabst Blue Ribbon when I talk PBR. PBRA better versus Commons. Okay, nice. You get the voting rights. Now it's all coming back. There you go. It's just a pretty chart. Let's check out the Bulgarian ETF, BGX. Oh, that's down. Looks kind of bad. No offense. Hopefully it catches. All right. Let's see. We're getting close to the end here. Yeah, we'll wrap it up in 5 minutes. My stomach's eating myself alive. I need food. Yeah, B-Bar, that's Argentinian bank, I believe. There's another one that I like playing. CBI is one. B-Bar, what is it? GGAL. I like playing GGAL. Grupo Financiero Galicia. None of them look like things I want to buy here. Rather buy OIH, like Talk's saying. This one's looking good, flagging into the moving averages here. I'm a fan. I think it's a good place to be. Along a ton of EC from 8ish. Well, yeah, it looks great from down there. Jeez, 8ish, insane. You're just bottom feeding down here. Congrats, great job. I remember this is in the 10s or 12s, and I wasn't all over it. Regret that. What a move. All right, guys, we're through the comments. I have a few more tickers to get to, I think, in my side notes here. Fufu is one of them. What is this? Bit Fufu? You said this is a long-term play? What the hell is a Bit Fufu? What's a... Oh. That would probably help. Publicly traded Bitcoin mining and cloud mining service. closely affiliated with a major mining hardware manufacturer, Bitmain, headquartered in Singapore, listed on the NASDAQ. Allows users to buy cloud hash rate or rent computing power to mine Bitcoin without owning the rig itself. So they do cloud mining, self-mining, and hosting and sales. Why? Why do I want this over all the others? Just the chart. The chart does look good. Bit foo-foo. Okay. Looks fun. I'll put it on the list. Oh, and that reminds me. I wanted to look at the other fertilizer names too. Wow, NTR going crazy. UAC, is that the other one? UAN. Yeah. Whew. That's pretty nice. Okay. Buy WGMI, says Talk. The Bitcoin mining ETF. Yeah, over Fufu. Not a big Fufu guy. I think that's doing this. Come and give me a little bit more of a discount. It's pretty good here, though. Now you can make more money using the energy for mining tokens than mining Bitcoin. Yeah, right. So if all the miners stop mining, Bitcoin price should go up in theory. Interesting. Short it, don't buy it. Yeah. Yeah. I was like, okay. Interesting. I'm a trooper? I don't know. Bootstrap mentality or something. Let's see if there's anything else that I want to talk about. I think we got through just about all of it. Last thing was uranium. I don't know if we talked about that, but that's looking phenomenal here. What a breakout today. I don't know what it does. I think it goes up to here and then maybe chops a little bit. So that's probably the trade for me. You get a little exposure in the critical minerals too. I think caramel, I think this is the one that I buy next week on a little pullback. I think this is nice high or low. It's coming into an old level of support. Nice zone. I'm a fan of this one. Volume pull 30% higher, 40% higher. But yeah, 60% higher. Sign me up. Yeah, I like the CRML. Adrian rolled something big, lighting it up in your out. I'm right behind you, brother. Right behind you. Soon. Good day. We deserve it. Enough charts for you. I'm right there with you, man. I'm right there with you. I will make an appearance tonight on the Friday night stream, but it's date night. I'm going out to a show. So that'll be fun. Hope you guys all have a really great weekend. I appreciate y'all for joining, hanging out. Caramel, you almost caught the perfect bottom. Very nice. So guys, till next time, this has been Steve, and this has been some of my AI picks and just a grab bag of everything else that I'm seeing that I'm looking for in the market. And I'm a fan. I'm a fan of a lot of the setups here. UEC, another good one? Yeah, absolutely. We got a lot of sectors firing. It makes me think that we are not done. What a candle. Boom. Boom. Shakalaka. And I think these keep going, too. LAR does look good, right? It's on my focus list, Mr. John Lamb. I agree. All right, guys. I got to head out. Hey, good to see you in here, Derek. Yeah, have a great weekend, guys. Come on in. Hang out in my server if you want. We're going to be, yeah, we chat all the time. So if you want more of this, this is where you find it. Thank you very much, Adrian. I appreciate all y'all, guys. Yeah, so let's see. Real quick, got to do the housekeeping. I'm here with Trade the Pool. If you guys want a funded account, you know where to find it. Come on in, trade with somebody else's leverage. Define your risk with Trade the Pool. Go on, check it out at tradethepool.com. If you like what I do, we have my Discord there. It's all free. If you want to throw me a little cash, well, there's some options. I do have a WAP where I do signals, I do newsletter, and I'll do some other articles here and there. You can find that at this link. Okay, give you all my analytics here. Why wasn't it not working? Let me pull this off screen. I'm stuck on the dashboard. I see. Well, so much for the concise outro pitch, huh? I'm going to get you a link to Gamma Tide, which is my service that's free. This is the free gamma exposure tool. Where in the heck is this thing? Apologies, guys. What is going on? Can't find my own service. There it is. All right. So this is the link for my my gamma exposure tool that I think is really cool. I'm still building it out. It's still in the beta, but it's free to join for now. It will be paid eventually. You just need to give me your email so I can let you know when it's fully ready. And it looks like this. You got a ton of great tools. It gives you all of the key information that you need to plan your trade accordingly. You also have AI trade plans, you know, grain of salt, but they work very often. Gives you exact levels to risk into. It gives you live updates of the heat map of each day of the week here, showing where the liquidity pools are. You've got some charts as well, visualizing it there. Nice and scrollable. You can do this on any ticker. Throw in Micron in there, go to the swing tab, and you can see, got to work on the scaling, but you can see all of the premium and where it's all congested at. So to the upside, 1,000, absolutely dominant. It's the biggest strike every single week. To the downside, we have a collection of puts at 925. So you can expect it to be range bound in there until we break out and see a big pull of liquidity higher. For example, if we go up to 1,000 and see 1,200 getting absolutely lit up, well, that'd tell us something, right? But this is a very useful tool, both for swing trading and everything else. You got live ticker, you got econ calendar, you got alerts. I'm really proud of this, but I need to polish it up. So I want more people to try it out and let me know what they think. So that is that tool. And then you can also just click, let's get the link. There we go. Oh, I already got the link. Perfect. All right. I'm going to shut up now. This is what I have cooking, and I appreciate y'all for hearing me out there. So this has been Steve with Trade the Pool. We appreciate you so much. You know where to find me. Till then, have a great weekend. Take care of yourself. Refresh yourself, because you know what? It's been a long one, and there's going to be a lot of great trades next week, and we don't want to miss a single one. So we will be back Monday morning with all of our great stuff. Don't forget, next week we got the culmination, the finale of earnings season here. We're going to have NVDA coming up midweek, and it's going to be a blast. A lot of big names are reporting around it too, so tons of stuff to talk about. Be there or be square. Till then, I'm heading out, guys. I'm going to grab a beer. Have a great night. See you guys later. Bye.